what really is education? Is it just the ability to read and write? You may go to school and know how to say your ABCs and count your 1, 2, 3s, but are you really educated, or are you just literate? A robot can be taught how to read and write, but can we then say that the robot is educated? Definitely not. Why? Because the robot cannot reason. And that is the main difference between the educated person and the literate person, the ability to reason. The literate person knows how to read and write, while the educated person, on the other hand, has the ability to think critically and to use their reading and writing skills to their own benefit and the benefit of mankind in general. Literacy is very important. Don't get me wrong. It can enhance education, because by using your literacy skills, you can continue gaining new spectrums of knowledge and surging deeper and deeper into newer and broader realms of awareness. Being educated means using your talents and fine-tuning them to a level that those talents can provide you with your livelihood and make your community a better place. That is why Albert Einstein once said, "Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school." Education is what remains after we've forgotten what we learned in school. Einstein, the smartest scientist the world has ever known, said this so that we should make no mistake about it. Going to school and having a big degree does not mean that one is educated. It just means that you went to school. Now, Dr. Martin Luther King reiterated this in the following words: "The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education." Making the distinction between school and education is important. This distinction is especially important in our situation, where we are dealing with a corrupt system of government like La République du Cameroon. La République is trying to make us believe that because our children attend inferior school systems, they are educated. No, they are not. And only an ignorant regime like La République will continue forcing our children to go to schools that do not educate them. And only an immoral regime will give students certificates for courses they did not take, or make them write exams that they did not study for. Morally decadent people like Atanga and Ekema are the products of such a defunct educational system. Atanga Paul dropped out of St. Bede's College in Form 2. Actually, he could not pass the exams to go to Form 3. He frauded his way through life, and then he was finally made minister in La République. Minister of Special Events. Now, what special affairs is Atanga concerned about? Is Atanga Paul's special duties just to betray his own people? When I listen to somebody like Atanga Paul, who shouts at us and insults us and talk badly to us Southern Cameroonians, I cry for my country. How did we get here? How did we get to a place where Atanga Paul and Ekema are the boss over us? Now, remember that Ekema failed English, but he got admission into the University of Boya. He then became the mayor and chief administrator of Boya. And these are the products of the kind of education we want for our country, a system where people who fail exams are promoted. My professional ethics feels violated. Why bother to teach when students can fraud certificates? In fact, my dignity as a human being feels particularly insulted when I think that in a country which I call my own, these are the caliber of people who are making decisions for the rest of us. This is unacceptable. No wonder these crooks do not want us to change the system, because they know that in a nation where people understand the real meaning of education, people like Ekema and Atanga and Bifuh would be jobless. Because having a job in a decent society should be based on one's skills and talents, not bribery, corruption, discrimination, incompetence, nepotism, and entitlement. In any law-abiding nation, Atanga and Bifuh and Ekema Patrick and the likes of them who are running the La Republique system today would be in jail for fraud. These frauds are not educated. They are the products of a corrupt regime. It is because there is a difference between education and mere schooling that Horace Mann, who is known as the father of American public education, said, "Education then, beyond all devices of human origin, is the great equalizer. It is the great equalizer of the conditions of men and women, the balanced wheel of the social machinery. Education equalizes the farmer to the inventor, the carpenter to the lawyer, the plumber to the doctor, the babysitter to the nurse, the minister to the man on the street, the woman who sells in the food market to the teacher like myself, and so on and so forth. You may do all the schooling in the world, but if you are unable to adapt what you have learned in school to the real life challenges and make a positive difference on your person and that of others, then you are not educated. If the only thing you can do is steal, cheat, and fraud your way through life, then the education your country gives you is not good enough." Nelson Mandela expanded upon Horace Mann's quote by saying, "Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. It is the tool that helps individuals enjoy their human rights, achieve their full potential, or participate fully as equal members of society. The
Audio Jungle.